The first thing that stands out to me is the fact that Luke emphasizes something. He says, and I find it very funny. He says, "And they understood none of these things, and the word was hid from them, and they understood not the things that were said." He says twice. They didn't understand. We didn't get it. And I think there's a lot of wisdom there, and it's something for us to consider when reading the Gospels and hearing about what people encountered, right? Their Lent, basically, their experience was much different than ours. We have the gift through the wisdom of the church, through history, through the Bible, the knowledge of what happens after. And so we have to keep that in mind, that Jesus' disciples really didn't understand. And I think it's funny that Luke, it's funny and also very true, how Luke emphasizes that. It's like, when you ask, like, somebody screws up something and it's just like, bro, I didn't know. That's what I get from it. But I think it's it's the writer being wise and knowing that, reminding the reader they didn't know what was going on. So we have to keep that in mind. And that leads to the story about this blind man, because as I said, we have the benefit of knowing what's happening after. They didn't. The blind man also did not have the benefit of actually being able to physically see what was going on. So in that regard, it's kind of like twice blind, so to speak, or for lack of better words. But he has amazing faith in acknowledging who Jesus is. Uses that title, Son of David. Have mercy on me. And in his great faith, he ignored the other people telling him to kind of hush down and just, chill out, relax. It was his faith that drew him to call out to Jesus more. And Jesus, and I think this is one of my favorite things about Jesus, when people are coming to him for healing, Jesus is God. He knows what the person wants. He knows what's on our heart. He knows what we want, but he still asks him, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do for you?" And I think that speaks into Jesus' person of wanting that intimacy, that relationship. It's a one-on-one conversation with this guy who's blind. He says, "What do you want?" And he does it. And he immediately saw, and he followed him. Immediately. And as the last Sunday before Lent, I think that is ultimately where God is calling me to be. To put myself in the blind man's position. Forget about what's happening later. Think about the present. But also like I said, I want to do daily gospel reflections, right? So I'm going to be following basically the narrative, the story here. Live in that present moment. Forget about what's going to happen after and try to enter into that time period of not knowing and being blind. And I think God's saying to me that if you do this, you will grow in greater faith. And I think as I prepare for Lent as well, to enter into Lent, there's that mindset of, what do I want? Ultimately, What do I want God to do in my life this Lent? The obvious answer is deeper intimacy with him, but how so? One of my podcast episodes, we talked about like SMART goals, right? Be clear with Jesus this Lent. Just say, Jesus, I want you to do X, Y, Z in my life this Lent. Having the faith that he will do what you need. And I think that if you do those things, that you'll come out of Lent into Easter with a greater appreciation for what Lent is, what kind of gift it is for us. But you'll enter into Easter, the greater faith, taking a step closer towards sainthood. Ultimately, I think that's what God is speaking to me in this gospel. And it makes me excited. Makes me excited for Lent, I think. I say this every year. I go into Lent usually unprepared, and every year I get more prepared. I think same is true this year. I feel like I am coming into this Lent better prepared for what Jesus will do. So there you go. Let me know what you think. If you have any prayer requests, go ahead and send those in our Discord, as well as if you want to throw them in the comments below. Happy to pray for you this Lent. Give this video a like if you enjoy it. Comment below your thoughts, your reflections as well. And then subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about these or get these. They'll be going on throughout Lent with the daily gospel reflections. So make sure to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when those go live every day. For now, I wish you a good Lent, and I will see you in the next video, which I guess will be Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. So God bless.